Welcome to Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver, Brad.
Why me?
Yeah, Brad.
I'm saying, don't get irate and shoot the driver.
Hey, I don't have a problem with pulling a gun too early. That's you two.
Oh, that's right. Now that's me. That's why I don't drive.
Exactly.
That's why I'm just the host. Welcome to the show today. Welcome to Uber Tales. Boy, do we have a show for you today. In the house, we have a guest driver.
We do.
That is here to tell us his horror stories or his beautiful stories or his stories of the human condition. Yes. Welcome, Mr. James. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Are you ready for this?
This is the first time I've gone public about this.
This is ready.
That's perfect. So, I guess we didn't tell him anything, have we?
We just threw him to the fire.
So, the big thing is we changed the names to protect the guilty. So, don't give real names or anything like that. But we do like descriptions. So, describe the folks to us. Do we just want to jump in? Should we just just jump in?
Bobby loves descriptions.
I like
don't negate to describe their thumbs because that's his favorite.
That's my favorite.
Especially if it's a girl.
He's like, weird already.
What? Yeah. What thumbs? Okay. See, I should. No, I'm not going to go there. All right. So here's the thing. What kind of day was it? What was it? Nighttime, daytime? What kind of state of mind were you in when you got the ping?
Sure. So let me give you some context. So this was a couple of years ago. I had just left my corporate job to become an entrepreneur, and I decided to do Lyft as a way to kind of help me pay the bills. And so this was pretty late at night. This was midnight. They were doing this competition where you give so many rides and you get this bonus. And so I was really trying to get this bonus before the end of the night. And it was about 2 a.m. in Salt Lake City, and I get this ping.
2 a.m. 2 a.m.
Oh,
that's Joshua time right there. That's his favorite time. He's like a vampire.
2 a.m. Wow.
So, a lot of the bars in Salt Lake are closing, and I decided this is going to be my last ride because I'm getting tired. So I pick up these 2 girls, probably in their early 20s.
Okay,
wait.
You got to give us some. So you're driving up to a club.
Yeah. So this is downtown Salt Lake. This is a club, Lake Effect.
Okay. You guys
picked
up plenty
you
of
guys know
people
Lake
there.
Effect.
Yeah. So you pull up. What do you see coming towards you? What's happening?
2 attractive women.
What does attractive mean? What do they look like? They're
one of them. I think
Bobby's looking for thumbs. Come on, big or little.
I just want some description, people. My hell, I want to get a picture in my head.
Let's see.
They got long, dark hair?
Stubby.
Are they blonde?
Basic white girl, and then
basic white girl. There we go.
Okay. She had a Starbucks in one hand.
Really?
Yeah,
2 a.m?
At 2 a.m?
Wow.
Jeez.
Pomeranian dog in the other.
Sounds like
right. Who knows why they had a dog with them at the club, but she just
let him in. It's her service dog. It's her.
There you go.
What do they call it?
It's her dancing partner.
No, that could be.
And then the other, from what I remember, I tried not to make too much eye contact.
Because that's what you do. You don't make too much eye contact unless you're Josh, and then you stare him down.
Yeah, you stare him down,
right? So
let him know I own this fucking car. I'm pissed. Here's my territory.
See this, baby? This is mine.
Yeah, this is my territory.
So there they are. They're walking towards you. Are they stumbling? Are you going? Oh, these girls.
Little bit. They're they're in their skirts or whatever, and I'm just thinking, I'm picking up 2 ladies. Nope, 2 guys get in the car. So this. The Asian girl gets in the front, and she's somewhat I wouldn't say sober, but she could talk. Okay. As for the girl in the back seat, exactly. The girl in the back seat, she was just wasted, and then the 2 guys were in the back seat giggling for whatever reason.
The dudes were giggling. You said giggling. Why would you say giggling?
Because that's what they were doing.
They were giggling. They were giddy. The dudes were giddy. They were giddy about getting in the car with these 2 drunk girls.
It was weird.
It was so you just felt immediately, oh, that's weird. These 2 guys. They just seem to
Yeah,
come
like
out of
my-
nowhere
Yeah, and they're
jump
just
in
like
the car.
talking to each other and not even conversing with me or, the girl up front. Girl in the back's like passed out pretty much. And so now we're on our way to Mill Creek Holiday area, and we're driving. The girl up front is talking to me about how like they did a line of coke
Ooh, okay.
in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, not in your car, thank goodness.
No.
They probably
then-
still had some on them, though.
Probably.
Unless they snorted it all.
Yeah, and the guys in the back were just like laughing, right? And so I'm like, all right, whatever. So as we're driving closer to the destination, the girl in the back seat's like, you got to pull over. I'm going to throw up. I'm like, okay. And there's like no place to pull over. There isn't really a shoulder at this point.
That's never a good
Never the
time,
case, right?
That's never a
Yeah.
good time for that, right?
It's kind of like on the bench. If you go up in that area, there's this place where you can't really pull over, and so the girl rolled down the window, or I think I rolled down the window, and she just vomited all over the side of my car. Some of it got on the inside. And by the way, so I'm driving this Honda Accord, so I've got this light. It's light, so it's like stains really easy.
The
Light
inside
interior,
is
yeah.
light interior.
So I'm like, oh,
Yeah, good luck getting that.
Yeah.
yeah, this
good
is,
luck
this
getting
is
that
gonna be
out.
rough driving back home with this smell. And
Can I ask you a question, James?
go for it.
Where was the dog?
The dog?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding about the dog.
Oh, no,
The dog didn't
It
exist.
I was
okay,
just
go ahead.
kidding.
I'm just
I think she threw it out the window.
yeah, with the puke.
Done with this Pomeranian crap.
So I'm like, oh boy, okay.
So you're
this
going,
is,
oh, great.
And keep in mind, like, this is at this point, this is kind of what I'm doing in the meantime as I'm building my business. So like, I don't have time to try to like get my car detailed or like. And the other thing too is with this platform, you have to take a photo of it and then submit it before they give you some type of reimbursement, right? I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna drop these people off and go home, call it a night. So we get to the destination. The guys get out of the car, and the girl up front tells me, by the way, we don't even know who those guys are. They just got in the car. And I'm like, what?
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
So I'm like, okay.
And they went,
Well,
and
thank you.
but the destination that was in the
Yeah,
the
they were like,
deal?
actually, I don't even know why they put that location, that drop-off location in the app. But I'm like, something's not making sense. So they're like, well, actually, can you take me to my place? And I'm like, sure, I'm not going to just, leave you here with these two guys. Plus, it's 2 a.m. I don't know who's going to be driving right now. And they're like totally wasted. So I'm like, all right, go ahead. And they said, well, I'll give you $200. I'm like, okay, fine. At least that will help cover.
So that's not bad.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, at least
Oh,
help
that-
cover
okay,
the
money
detailing.
talks.
So
There you
who
go.
Right.
ordered the ride? Was it the Asian girl up in the?
It was the
passenger
Asian
seat?
girl.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it was the drunk girl because that's why we ended up at a location that. Okay, so here's the other thing I've considered. Maybe the drunk girl in the back met these two guys.
And put the address in that
Yes.
the guys said.
Exactly. So
Like,
that's
yeah,
kind
let's
of what
go
I'm,
party because it hadn't hit her yet
Yes,
that she's
exactly.
way too
That's
wasted.
kind of
That's your
kind of what
thought.
I'm picking up
Picking up
now.
that
And-
point.
Okay,
Well,
could
that
make
makes
and
sense.
so, but maybe the girl up front had no idea. She was in the bathroom doing some coke with her Pomeranian. It's
not. It's
I
not
like-
real, Joshua. It's not.
I know.
the
I like the
dog's not
idea
real.
of the dog being there. It just makes it more.
You should have
more
kept going with
ridiculous.
that. Yeah, the dog was snorting with them. It was
Right.
crazy.
So I'm like, okay, so we start headed to this location, and I'm like, I need to get these girls out of my car as soon as possible. The girl up front, she's like, you need to pull over right now. I have to pee. If you don't pull over, I'm going to pee in your car. I'm like, I'm not going to challenge you on that because your friend just vomited
Puked
in my
all over,
car.
yeah.
So I'm going to pull over. So we pulled over.
And there was a place to pull over.
There was a place to pull over. It was in this neighborhood.
Because hanging out the
And-
window would have not been cool. If she had
I don't know. That must have been
That would have been
talent to do
hilarious.
something like that. I mean,
Yeah. But what
So-
did she do?
by the way, there's like snow on the ground. So this is like February.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's cold.
Yeah.
Colder.
March time period. So, she gets out, doesn't bother even to go behind my car. She goes in front of my car where I have my headlights on, drops her pants, does her thing right in front of me. Friends like pass out in my back seat. And I'm like, oh,
Nice.
shit.
Poor,
So,
poor James.
Did you at least turn the lights off?
I mean, I had to keep them on because
keep
I
them on. He's on the road.
Yeah,
on the
he was
road.
afraid
It's on the
he'd
freaking
get
road.
killed.
Right. So, and like, good thing I had hand sanitizer on the side of my car because she gets back in and
You're like,
she's
hey.
like, all right, I'm ready. And then the girl in the back seat vomits again out. She opens the door and vomits outside.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
This is such a long night. So then anyway, I dropped
So
them
at this
off, and
point,
that
it's 2:30 in the
yeah,
morning
it's
now.
like closer to 3 at this point because of everything that happened. And so I'm just like, that was it. I dropped them off. They Venmo'd me $200.
They did.
Wow.
They
Wow.
followed
They
through.
actually did, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
They
that's
did.
impressive because usually the we're going to give you a
Yeah.
big tip thing
Yeah.
is a ruse.
Well, I told them, I was like, screw this app. I don't want you to do it through the app. Pay me directly. Like,
yes, and they
You
were
know.
cool with that.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
that
Well, it's
doesn't
because,
happen.
I try to show some level of kindness and,
Empathy.
empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, like, this is a sucky situation. I hope you guys learn from it, but I'm not going to just leave you out here.
So what kind of rating did you give them, James, after you dropped them off?
I don't
Give a
even think I
review?
rated them.
You didn't?
No.
Wow. So
No.
then they got 5 stars.
There were only maybe a handful of times I have driven Lyft for about a year and a half-ish.
Mhm.
I don't anymore. But, only a few times where I've actually given, 1 stars.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is, in my opinion, this is a very much 1-star ride.
I don't know.
Throw it up.
$200 tip. I could put up with a lot of crap for $200.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take. How much
I
did it take
guess
to
if
wash
you
the
get
car?
money, if you get the
Well,
money,
but he
you don't
did.
know.
He for sure got the money.
Well, yeah, he
Yeah.
did. But at the moment, it's not like they paid him immediately, right? You said they paid you the next day.
It was I think it was immediately. It was
Oh, was
later
it?
that night.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like, dude, here's my Venmo.
Venmo.
Okay.
Yes, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I will. And did they give you a good rating?
I think so.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah.
They should have. Jeez.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking care of them.
Damn straight. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's,
So let's do takeaways on this. Let's break this down. So what did James learn from this situation?
driving at 2 a.m. is not for me.
And for some reason, Joshua breathes that. He loves it.
I
He
still
lives
do
it.
Yeah.
It's-
I do. I like it.
And
yeah.
and so since you brought it up, and since you said I like it, I just want to know
What? Yeah.
what is it that you like about, dude, the danger. I mean, I would think 3 in the morning is like when all. I mean, we know because you always have good stories.
Yeah.
With witches and vampires and
No.
all kinds of crazy stuff.
Not quite the vampires, but maybe witches.
See,
yeah.
you think she's a man. I think she's a vampire. You think
Yeah.
she's a witch. I'm pretty sure she's sucking
So,
people's blood.
It's funny. So he's bringing this up. Brad can attest to this. I had told Brad this. This just happened 2 or 3 days ago. A girl came out. That was my rider. Pulled her pants and her panties down and just started taking a piss right in front of me. And I was like,
Before
oh.
she got in your car?
Well, see, I didn't know who it was. I didn't know if that's my rider or not. It was just a girl came out with her friend, and her friend's video, taping it on her phone, And so I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she comes over, literally pulls her sweatpants down, pulls her panties down, and just proceeds to pee. And it is super lit up. It's bright in this place. Right? Didn't I tell you this story, Brad?
You did. You
This
told me
literally
the
just
story.
happened 3-4 days ago. And so I'm just staring at this girl while she's bent over peeing. I'm like, surely that's not my rider, And so at some point the girl looks and notices I'm sitting there waiting, and so she starts pointing at me, and I was like, so I look away to try to give some privacy, I guess. And I'm like, God almighty. I was like, watch this be my rider. And it was my rider. But she was so embarrassed. She did not get in the car with me. She came over with her friend, and she was smiling, and she put her head down, and she's like, just take my friend to her home. I was like,
She never
sure.
said anything to you in the back?
No, I mean, so the girl that ordered the ride, that's what she said to me. She came up to the passenger door, and that's what she said. She's like, just take my friend to her home. And then she walked off. And then her friend was like, yeah, she was embarrassed, man. She was like, surely that's not the Uber driver. And when she found out it was, she pussed out. She was like, I'm sorry, man.
So she didn't get in the car.
She didn't.
She
No,
was
the
planning
rider
on
did.
it.
She was, yeah. She was. She was the one that ordered the ride.
Oh.
But instead, her friend got in, so I ended up taking her friend home, and so to go. So James gets it,
I've
This is
gotta
the stuff
ask,
you see.
Do you ever play this podcast while you're driving?
I have, but usually, more in the mornings when I'm doing the airport rides.
Yeah.
You know,
Not the drunk people.
Yeah, no, not the drunk. No, I want them on. I want to do episodes on them. So I don't want them knowing. I want them to know we do a
right
podcast.
there.
Yeah.
I still want to know if the three hags listen to the show ever.
The what?
The three.
Oh,
was
those terrible women.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no. Well, if they write into us, I guess we'll know. You know, if they call in. You know, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, what we wanted to talk about, kind of the human condition here, and what did we learn from it?
Maybe setting boundaries could be good. You know, that could
Yeah,
be
I
something,
mean, I would
you
think
know,
so.
Some
Yeah.
healthy boundaries.
And what would be the healthy boundaries that they could have set? Drink a little less. What are the boundaries you're thinking that these girls could have maybe had?
I mean, yeah. I mean, drinking less, putting yourself in non-compromising positions. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, come on. They're just having fun, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crickets.
I don't
What do
know.
you think, James?
I mean, I'm all for fun, but go ahead.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'm glad that they took a rideshare and didn't, you know, decide to drive. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have, you know, if she was really that intoxicated and having to vomit, just don't take a Lyft. Like, don't, you know, call a friend or something. Like, don't risk somebody else's car, you know, to take you home. That's not fair.
I doubt they're thinking in
Yeah.
their right mind.
Well, their
Yeah,
friends
and-
are probably messed up too.
Their
so-
friends
Yeah,
are probably messed
exactly.
up, and
Yeah.
you said they're doing lines of coke and stuff. I mean, so
Yeah,
it's like
they're-
alcohol, coke. You
Yeah,
know,
their
They've got a
boundaries
whole-
have been
Yeah,
reached.
compromised.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Which
say.
is interesting. What do you guys think about that? I mean, that's who you're... I just wonder
They
how many
scumbags,
lives are
that's who you're
saved
trying-
because of rideshare. How many lives are
Probably a
saved? I
lot.
mean, I bet...
Yeah, I would think
I
a
would
lot.
think that's actually... You guys are doing a pretty big service for people on the road, really.
Yeah.
And I find it, you know, I'm an old guy, right? Back in the day, you know, when you were inebriated in a club or bar, the only thing you could do is buy a taxi. And for some reason, no drunk person wanted to do that. It was like, no, I'm not going to get a taxi.
Yeah.
But a ride share, hey, yeah, that's cool. That's hip.
Trendy,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll get
Easy.
a ride share.
It's probably because
interesting.
it's seamless. It's a very easy process. You don't have to pay money. There's no real exchange. You know, it's all through the app. You know, you already have your card or whatever connected through the app. You know, it's like you just click a couple buttons and there you go.
And you're done.
You're
Yeah.
done.
I
And
guess
then you just get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that that does make sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I was gonna go deep on this boundaries thing, but you know, when you're snorting coke and you're drinking a bunch to where you're puking out the side of the door, you're peeing in front of the car instead of behind it, which just seems, you know, like a normal.
How did you feel in that moment, James, when she took a squat in front
You know,
of
I just had to look down. Because
she's
oh
going
my
to the
God,
front.
okay.
She's taking her. Okay, that's it.
All right.
And look
Yeah, just-
down.
yeah, go ahead and do your thing. You know.
So
But,
you just were playing on your phone.
yeah. I was
While
just like, all right.
Here's the question I have. Did you actually hit the promotion to get your bonus?
I did.
All right.
It was like
Alright.
it was like
Okay.
it was like a $800 bonus.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so James was going through a rough night, but he still made bank at the end
Exactly.
of
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
$200
Yeah,
tip,
200.
$800 bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You like nailed it.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Screw this! I'm never doing this." again."
pretty much.
And that was his last ride.
No, there was another experience that happened too.
Yeah, we'll have you on for that one because I've heard that one's really risque. Well,
The
cool.
New Yorker. Well,
What's it called? What did you say?
the New Yorker. It's an
Oh, yeah, I
underground.
know. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the New Yorker.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, the club.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
So sketchy.
Well, let's go over. We haven't done gripes or delights for a while, so let's go
Just
over
a
gripes
week.
and yeah. Is that how long it's been? Okay.
Yeah.
Gripes and delights. It feels like forever. So what do you got, Brad?
Go
Gripe or
ahead,
delight?
I don't know. I mean, I always do a gripe, so
Well,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
just
you-
the kind of person you are.
Because you're a
absolutely.
sour old bastard. No, I'm just
damn
kidding.
straight. I'll be positive and say, you know, I really like it when I can get repeat customers. it's awesome when you've taken somebody and you get a follow up with them later on, like in a couple months or in a couple weeks, and you maybe give them a little bit of advice or help them with something, and then they come back and they say, hey, you know what, that was actually awesome. I'm glad you told me about XYZ or whatever, and it works out.
I'm glad you told us about the podcast. We've been listening to it
Right?
religiously. That's our favorite
Right?
show now.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'll piggyback off that. I love that too. When I run into a person for the second or third time, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" And they're like, "Hey, dude." They're like, "You again?" And then we just start. Literally, we pick up right where we left off. It's quite fun, actually.
It is.
That
yeah,
is
and I'll
cool.
ask them, "Hey, how's it been?" You know, blah blah blah. You know, and yeah, they run through, you know, their life, and it just makes it more human. You know, you get
Absolutely.
to connect more with people, you know, on their level.
like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah.
Cool. I know, James, I know it's been a while since you've been driving, but did you have any gripes or delights that you liked about it, things you liked about driving, or things you didn't? Big pet peeves.
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
for one, people puking in your car. That's a big. Don't like that, right? That's a hassle.
yeah, you know, I had mostly good experience driving. I made a lot of really great connections. You know, somehow I would always be able to bring up this experience that I've talked to you about by my walk across America in 2020, and that would just get people really excited. They're like, oh my goodness, especially if they tell me about a state that they lived in that I walked through. So I remember driving this one lady to the airport, and it came up, you know, she said that she lived in, I think it was Iowa, and I told her, like, walked across the state. And, you know, it's always interesting to get people's reactions. Some people are immediately really excited and want to hear more about it. Some people are really quiet. And I remember telling her about this and the impact that it made in my life. And right as I was dropping her off, she said, "Thank you for sharing that with me. You empowered me to want to do something that I put off for the last few years."
Oh.
So you never know how your story and being open with your story will inspire other people, and I saw that pretty often. Almost every week I would come across somebody that I was able to touch in a different way.
Do you guys feel that? Do you guys feel that you've made? I mean, I know
Yeah.
we've talked about some serious things that you guys have done that have kind of probably been life-changing for folks, or life-changing for you guys because you saw the human condition and said, wow, man, this is sad. I want to be a better human.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, like I've seen some things, and I've been put in some positions where it's like it's made me feel grateful and humble for one, what I have in my life and not have to go through what they do, but it also makes me feel sad that people do have to go through certain things in their life.
Yeah. Joshua, what do you
Yeah,
think?
100%. You know, I love, like I've said, you know, when people open up and they share stuff, you know, because I've had quite a few life experiences myself. And so whenever I'm able to kind of make that connection with someone and I see that, like, aha, or like, wow, you know, I never saw things from that perspective. And I can see it's making an impact on them, and they leave maybe a little less upset, or a little, you know, a little happier, a little more joyful. Like, yeah, that makes me feel, you know, good as a human being.
I think that's super cool that you guys get to do that. I know I couldn't be a driver. There's something about somebody sitting behind me that would freak me out too much. But I do think it's really cool that you guys take it from you kind of, all of you, and we give you guys crap. I mean, each other, we like to give each other crap. But I think in a lot of ways you guys are very positive about what you're doing, and you want it to be a good experience for them. Maybe a little selfishly, because then you get a good rating and blah, blah, blah. But I think both of you guys kind of have a heart and like the human condition.
Brad doesn't have a heart, but I'm just kidding.
It's a little one.
It's a little. It's that little Grinch one.
It's a little one.
That little Grinch heart.
Well, cool, James. Thank you for being on the show and your experience. That's you know, it always dumbfounds me, the human race, and sometimes I'm surprised sadly, and sometimes I'm surprised excitedly. A lot of times at 2-3 in the morning, though, we don't get a whole lot of the best humans on the planet, but
it's not the brightest moments, you know, in people's lives.
But it is sometimes the most interesting and good for the show. So keep it up, Joshua.
Yeah.
Keep driving at 3 in the morning, and we'll keep having good shows.
Yeah, this would probably be a good time to tell our folks that are listening. Yeah,
Joshua, he's always bringing us back, Brad. That is so good. Okay, you want to tell them what they've won, Brad?
You tell me, Bobby.
I figured people were tired of hearing me, but okay. If you would like to get a hold of us, then too bad you can't, because there's no way to.
Right?
No. Actually,
Unless you
can't.
give us a call.
Unless you give us a call at 801 999 8098. Pachinga.
Only
Or
one
email
time.
us at
Good job, Bobby.
ubertalespodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
Either or, folks.
Yes. If you'd like to drop us an email, ubertalespodcast@gmail.com. But don't forget, we would love to hear your calls. We would love to hear, hey, I hate this show. I love this show. What do you guys think you're doing? You know, any of that stuff. We would love to get any kind of feedback. Give us a call at that 801-999-8098.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's a show. Thank you for listening. And I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to do You gotta have the music.
You're flustered today, Bobby. We get it. We know.
It's one of those days. All right, people. Tune in next time to Uber Tales. Don't shoot the driver.
I think Bobby did a line of coke.
Energy drink.
Oh, that's
He's snorting there.
right.